Hello, my friends, and welcome to the show. Today's episode is sponsored by Roxanne Moreno, 2012, and Soylent Green is People, 6029. I appreciate their interest to become producers for today's show, and thank you very much. They've actually been one of the original fans of the show, and they've been here from the beginning since the channel has kind of become shifted its focus. So anyways, they're awesome. Tip of the hat. And let's move on to the rest of the show today. We're going to be starting off with a juxtaposition of the video showing the complete and utter devastation. It looks like literally a nuclear bomb went off. And then the comparison to an aerial shot of the Palisades dam, that a reservoir, I should say, that was dried. It was emptied out. I don't know who emptied it or when it was emptied, but that needs to be investigated, and there should be criminal charges, in my personal view. So let's get to it. It should be a good show, and. Without further ado, let's stop the chit chat. Let's do it. I mean, look at this. It's heartbreaking. It is really heartbreaking. Ugh. This is what DEI hire gets you. Because the whole entire fire department seems to be at the upper management DEI hires. It's so sad. Absolutely devastating. Rich and poor. You know, these people have lost everything.
Its leadership has since changed. Chief Crowley is an openly gay woman now.
It took me a couple years. I wasn't sure, and this was when I was new on the job. I was very kind of mindful about my personal life.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Fire her immediately, expeditiously.
This guy is really good. He makes some really good points, and he shows some quotes right from this I believe she's like the assistant chief of fire, whatever. But she is horrible. She's definitely a DEI hire, and she needs to go at the very least.
Fire this woman. This is the Los Angeles Fire Department assistant chief.
Okay, assistant
Listen
chief.
to this.
You want to see somebody that responds to your house, your emergency, whether it's a medical call or a fire call, that looks like you.
No, you don't. You want to see someone that seems like they're competent for what you need them to do.
Yes.
You want to see someone that looks like you to put out a fire. This is why it is critical that we focus on efficiency over diversity.
Yeah, because if I'm having a medical emergency, the first thing that I would probably notice is like, boy, let's say if I was gay, to be like, oh, the paramedic show up and be like, oh, thank goodness you're LGBTQ. I'm okay now. It's like, come on, this is totally ridiculous.
But she wasn't done. It gets worse.
Yes, it does.
It gives that person a little bit more ease, knowing that somebody might understand their situation better. Is she strong enough to do this? Or
No.
You couldn't carry my husband out of a fire.
Okay, that right there, I've seen videos of the training. It probably went pretty viral, but it was basically these women that were put inside of a makeshift room, and it was set up so that they had to like barge through a door, and the door would it's kind of like so they were like standing here and they'd run to hit the door, and then everything would just kind of shift like a teeter-totter. Basically, you just have to get the momentum and the gravity to shift to open up this door. These women were just slamming themselves up against this door to try to tip the teeter-totter to open the door, essentially, and they couldn't do it. They could not do it.
Which my response is, he got himself in the wrong place if I have to carry him out of a fire.
What did you say? What the f did you just say?
Outrageous.
He got himself in the wrong place if I have to carry him out of the
Outrageous.
fire. So are you just going to look at him and say, well, you got yourself in the wrong place?
Yep.
Too bad, so sad, see ya, and walk out?
Yep.
This is disgusting. She needs to be fired expeditiously.
Yes.
Like yesterday. He could have had a table fall on him. He could have broke his ankle. He could have broke his leg. He could have broke his back.
Yeah.
And her response is, well, you got yourself in a bad situation. And she's the assistant chief of the entire department. Disgusting.
That is horrifying, because if that woman was at an active fire and was going in to try to save people, would she just like step over a guy if he was like pinned down or something and just be like, oh, you're a toxic male and you got yourself into this situation, so have a great day. I'll see you in the afterlife. You know what I mean? Like, it is absolutely horrendous and horrifying that that woman is in charge of anything. She needs to go.
Again, this is why we need to focus on quality people and efficiency over diversity. Focusing on diversity is dangerous. And this, again, is disgusting. Get rid of her.
Congratulations, United States.
Oh, thank you.
This is what you voted for.
We're going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, which has a beautiful ring that
No
covers
problems with that.
a lot of territory. The Gulf of
That's right. Instead of focusing on lowering grocery prices or gas prices or creating more jobs for Americans, worrying about crime or protecting our children, overhauling our healthcare system, making it so that people don't end up on the street for a healthcare bill, tackling our growing fentanyl crisis, tackling childhood hunger,
horrible,
homelessness, affordability. Instead of tackling any of those issues, you're rebranding the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America.
Except one little thing you're missing is that Biden has been president for the last 4 years. Biden is the one who has created this whole huge mess for the economy and for the country, opening up the border. I mean, I can go on and on, making crime essentially okay because the Soros bought DAs. That's what they want. They want to like eternally destroy America. And the other big thing is he's not president yet. He hasn't been sworn in, okay? He can't do any of those things. And I'm sure he's got it on the books on what he wants to do to address those other problems that you mentioned. But lady, he is not even president. You have to look to Biden right now. You're dumb. You're stupid. Let's go.
Not only that, you're going to spend money and resources and time to do so. This isn't patriotism. He doesn't care about you.
Yeah, he does.
This is about xenophobia and racism.
Of course. It always comes back to xenophobia. It always comes back to racism. Some kind of phobia, some kind of ism. That's all they know the only cards they know how to play.
So what has that classless piece of shit who's about to take office on the 20th done with respect to the tragic and overwhelming fires that have been suffered by California and the people there who have lost everything?
He's not president.
Has he extended himself to the current administration? No.
Why?
The only thing...
I don't know, but he's not president. There's nothing he can do right now. And I see you're a card carrying far lefty. You've got the starter kit going on with the big oversized glasses. They're not cat eye, but they're still oversized. And of course, you're like, what, 87? And you're rocking a nose ring? Come on, lady. Really, grow up. And you are coloring your hair, although it doesn't look like it's purple or anything, but you've got it. You've got them all. We know exactly who you are. We don't even have to hear you speak, but you're a fool.
Thing he's done is call Governor Newsom.
Oh, how
like
horrible.
I said, a classless piece of shit.
just like you're taking time out of your day to film this, calling him a classless piece of crap, when in actuality, you're just projecting, quite frankly.
What can we expect during the next 4 years?
Greatness.
More of the same.
Yeah. Freedom.
Good luck.
Oh, yeah.
He's not my president. He'll never be my president. He's just a big, flabby, diaper-wearing man-child. He is...
Okay. I mean, right off the bat, they have to revert to name-calling because they have no arguments. And again, he's not president, so he hasn't been able to enact any policies. We're all still dealing in the Biden universe and the crappy hellscape that his policies have created.
Is a master beta, and he kisses the ass of anybody who has more money and power than he does, which is why he's Putin's puppet and Elon's bit. His policies are going to bankrupt our country the same way that he bankrupted so many of his scam businesses. And he hasn't appointed...
The scam businesses. Yeah, he's only become a multi-billionaire through his hard work. And yeah, okay, some of them may have gone south a little bit, but what successful business person hasn't had hiccups like that? None.
A single black person to his administration because he's a racist.
Honestly, I don't think that is true. I don't know. I know he's put women on, so you can't call him a misogynist. But I don't think that is true. I mean, yeah. I think there are people of color. I think there are. Anyways, I think they're on the part of the administration. So let's hear what this idiot has to say.
Just like the Proud Boys and the Triple K who support him too.
The Triple K. The Triple K? Really? You're going to go with the Triple K? Because the Triple K is the militant wing of the Democratic Party. They were formed by the Democratic Party. They are the sole creation of the Democratic Party. Are you kidding me? Read a book, dude.
He's also a homophobe, like so many of these Christian...
He's also a homophobe. Where's your proof?
Christian nationalists out here who wouldn't recognize brown Jesus if he crossed the border and washed their damn feet. He has a tiny pecker, a tiny brain...
Seriously? You're a child. You're a petulant child.
And a giant ego, and he's riddled with dementia. I don't even think he's going to be here in 4 years. I think McDonald's and KFC are going to take his ass out. He can't keep a business. Gosh. He can't keep a wife. He can't even keep his ass clean. And yet you think he...
Okay, what proof do you have that he can't keep his butt clean? What proof is there? There is none. You are stupid. You have no arguments. You're being a child. You're being a crybaby, whiny, petulant, spoiled child.
He's going to be the president. President of what? He's not running the show. Elon is. And Elon looks like he just fell off the back of a little yellow bus. There's not a...
Oh, yeah, because Elon's so stupid. He's just so stupid. Yeah, he's successfully co-founded PayPal. He co-founded OpenAI. He's got SpaceX. He's got Tesla. He's got the Boring Company. I mean, should I go on? I mean, the dude has just done successful company after successful company. And the man he's a genius. And anybody that says otherwise, come on. They're trying to gaslight you.
Damn thing you can say to make me like Donald Trump or consider him the president of anything. He's not qualified to work at McDonald's with his rap sheet. So why don't you go find his little mushroom, if you can, and sit and spin on that for a while.
You seem to be really focused on his junk, which might be saying something because you're kind of giving that vibe, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, I don't know, my friend. But I'm sure you're not going to have any problems, taking part of the success that Trump is going to have as president, as the country is lifted economically, social status is risen, and everybody starts prospering. No, you're not going to have any problems with that. but you know, I don't know. Just go away now.
We're so strange, man. I wear a mask because
you're stupid.
I want to protect myself and the people around me. If you have a problem with that, that's your problem, not mine. Happy running. We're doing a 6-mile run.
Oh, gosh.
And I'm feeling good.
Okay, I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that respiratorily speaking, it is actually damaging to run with a mask. And she looks like she's got an uber duper crazy mask on. And but yeah, it hinders the oxygen that comes into your system. And especially when you're running, you kind of need that oxygen for everything to be functioning properly. She's actually hurting herself, and I couldn't imagine she would feel good after 6 miles of wearing that respirator on her face. But hey, good luck to you. I appreciate you self-identifying yourself as being crazy. So that's awesome. All right, next.
What species in the animal kingdom is the fetus?
Good question.
So if it's a human, shouldn't that human get human rights?
I don't know. I don't believe there's any.
But shouldn't you get human rights even if you can't survive without another? Shouldn't you get human rights even if you're small and that you happen to be in utero at that moment?
Yep. Let me think about this. This is tough. Real tough question. What a retard.
I don't know. I can't come up with a response to that.
Okay, that's fine. I want you to think about it. And the point is this. Abortion we have carved out in the Western moral standard where none of our other morals apply. We believe that murder is wrong. We believe that stealing is wrong. We believe that all these things are wrong for grown adult humans, but not for small humans.
Yeah.
Size should never determine your moral worth. I'm 6'5". People that are smaller than me, you guys should be able to live. Location does not determine your moral worth. People in Flagstaff don't have more human rights than people in Cincinnati. Your environment does not determine your moral worth, nor your degree of dependency. If degree of dependency determines your moral worth, all of you guys that are asking your mom to Zelle you more money, you're all dependent on your parents.
Or all you guys that are still living in the basements of your parents, you're still dependent. And it's probably a lot of those guys, except for the ones wearing the MAGA hats.
The point is this. We do not judge whether or not you can live or die based on your degree of dependency, your size, your location, or your environment that you're in.
I've decided my mantra for now on is this.
Okay.
WWBWD. What would black women do?
Oh, gosh. What would black women do? Who cares what black women would do? Who cares what Chinese women would do? Or Hispanic women or Caucasian women? Heaven forbid, you know, you'd want to take advice from a white woman. Oh, gosh. Okay. I mean, I don't know. Let's see what she has to say.
I read about them. I study their history. I follow many of you on TikTok.
Many of you.
And they just do life with excellence. They do life with empathy, with passion, with heart, with soul.
Okay, so there are a lot of people.
I want to emulate that. I admire them so much. And whenever I'm faced with any problem, whether it's personal, financial, relationships, my heart, my soul, my mind, I just have to ask, what would black women do?
WWBWD for life. Come on. I mean, look, I applaud her, like, trying to better herself or whatever, but she speaks about black people in a way it's almost like they're like a different race or something. Like, I mean, not a race, but like a totally different species. Like they're in the zoo or something. Like, I read about them. You know, I don't know. It's just creepy. It's creepy how she's talking about it. I don't know.
Because when they organize, they change the world. And that's what I want to do.
By making a TikTok video in my car. I mean, I guess maybe that's a baby step. I don't know. Maybe this will help somebody. I don't know. Kind of doubt it, but I don't know.
What do you think about me dropping an OF in high school?
Well, you did it after you turned 18. So.
Well, I mean, why would I do it before?
Right, so you were 18, free to do whatever you want.
Do you support it?
Yes.
Why?
Because I've always supported you.
Okay, I just want to say that is like the epitome, the ultimate fail as a parent, to support your child to start an OnlyFans or whatever it is she started right out of high school. That is disgusting, and she should, I mean, the only reason she's supporting her is because the daughter is actually financially supporting the mother. She's benefiting from her, well, I don't want to say work, but she's obviously making money, and the mother is benefiting from that. And it's just a circle of greed, and it's disgusting. Shame on you, Mom. Shame on you.
Why? Mexico is right there.
Yeah. And so is America. Right there.
America, Mexico,
yeah.
Gulf of Mexico.
Right, yeah.
What the fuck does it matter? And Mexico don't belong to you. Canada don't. You want to go to war with Canada?
No.
To own.
We wouldn't have to go to war with Canada. We could just seriously just walk right in and take it. And they would probably be like, oh, sorry, sorry we're in the way. Because they're, I don't know. I mean, Canada's awesome. I've got Canadian relatives, but they're very passive aggressive. and they're also generally pretty kind. So, and they don't really have an army to speak of.
Why does that? Oh, my head. To go to war, you want to go to war with Canada, you want to own Greenland. Like, the f is wrong with you, you dumb Darth Cheeto ass bitch.
Cheeto? Wow. That's good stuff.
What is wrong with you? You senile old fuck. Our country is ruined.
And why is that? Because Biden has helped ruin it, you stupid lady. Ugh. And do you does your upper lip ever get poked by that ginormous spiky nose ring? I'm just wondering.
Maybe if you lost weight, you'd feel better. Nah.
Yeah.
Let's be clear. Fat phobia is a choice.
What did you say?
Stop pretending it's for fat people's health. If you really cared about someone's health, you wouldn't shame them or make them feel less than just because of their body size.
Okay, people aren't shaming you. People don't shame fat people, okay? If anybody is telling you you're fat, it's because they care about you and they don't want you to die at the age of 42 of a heart attack, okay?
Health is personal, and it doesn't look the same for everybody. But what I do know is that fat people, just like anybody else, deserve to exist in a world without being judged or treated like we're less worthy of care, respect, or access to basic human rights. Here's the thing. Fat phobia is rooted in societal bias. It's not actually about health. It's about controlling how we look and making us feel inferior.
Man, you are one twisted f***.
It's about pushing an unrealistic standard of beauty and health that only benefits a system that profits off of our insecurities. We're told just lose the weight, like it's that easy. And the truth is, being fat isn't a moral failing. It's a body type, and no one should be shamed for it. Health can't be measured by the size of our bodies alone. I know plenty of fat people who are healthy, strong, and happy. Just like I know thin people who are unhealthy. Health is complex, and it's about more than just a number on a scale. You can be fat and healthy, and you can be thin and still face health issues. So stop using health as an excuse to harm people's mental health and emotional well-being.
You know, the thing I've noticed with a lot of these fat phobia videos is the one common factor seems to be, and I think they've all exclusively been women so far that I've seen, is that they've been in their 20s or early 30s. And when you're that young, your youth is basically the only saving factor that you have that maybe, fending off the consequences that of the checks that your body is writing, but that youth is the only thing keeping those checks from being cashed. And I'm sorry, once you hit a certain age, all those checks are going to be cashed, and all of a sudden you're going to be hit with diabetes, with high blood pressure, with swollen appendages. I mean, it's going to be bad. Okay. And if you don't do anything to try to help lose some of that weight, to take the pressure off your heart, these people are going to be dead by the time they're like in their early 40s. I myself, I just turned a shade over 50, but about a year ago, I had heart failure, and had to go to the hospital and everything. Didn't need surgery or anything like that, but I literally almost died, and it was a real wake up call to me. So, people tell you these things about your weight because they care about you. End of story. And if you don't care about that, well, you're probably not gonna you're definitely not gonna live to be an old person. That's for sure. Unfortunately. So you make the choices, you live with the consequences. Nobody can get around that.
Kid at 18 years old comes to you. It's been 18 weeks of just agonizing suffering for them emotionally because Mrs. Wright left him. Okay? Yeah. And he's right in front of you, and he says, "You know what, Mom? I'm just gonna put an end to this." Yeah. And he pulls out that heater up to the head, right? That's what he wants, and you're gonna respect that?
I'm gonna say, "What can I do to help you?"
Yeah, and he says, "Nothing. This is what I want."
That's shit. That's just like grandiose stuff that is out of my control. I can't tell.
So you wouldn't try to stop him, or you would?
Am I gonna physically go and grab?
Yeah, would you physically grab it? Sure, of course.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab him. Not the gun.
So you're gonna try to stop him.
I'm gonna try to talk to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I want
you're gonna do everything you can to stop him.
Okay, so just to give context to that little conversation, is the question was posed that if she, as a mother, had a daughter that started an OnlyFans page or something to that effect, would she try to stop her daughter from doing it? And her response was, "Well, there's nothing I can do. It's her choice, and that's the bottom line, right?" And so, but then he gave the scenario that we just heard, and of course her response is, "Oh, I would totally do whatever I basically can do to stop my child from, harming themselves," which would be the natural reaction of any good parent, but. It shows the degradation of our society, and especially these Gen X, or not Gen X, the Gen Z women of that generation. Not everybody. I'm not saying it's a blanket statement, but there's a lot of these women that they have no morals, they have no ethics, they have nothing, and it's really sad. And holy cow, what in the freak is that Frankenstein of a lady doing? Oh, geez. The guy's like, what the heck am I looking at? Oh my gosh, that's hideous. Wow.
Now, open your mind to me. Please. Open your mind. Open your mind. Open your mind. Open your mind.
Oh gosh. That dude has got some serious mental issues, man, I tell you. And you always watch these videos of these trans women, the guys that want to be a woman, and they're always like, "Oh, if you don't date a trans, you're homophobic, you're transphobic," or whatever. I don't know their argument is, but it's like, no, dude, if I'm a guy, I'm not gonna be with another dude, because that's not the way I roll. You know what I'm saying? These people.
White identity, certainly in the South, but in a lot of other places in the country, was dependent on keeping blacks down. The reality today, Marissa, is black privilege, not white privilege. I will believe in white privilege the first time I see a black student put his race down as white when he's applying to college, because he thinks that being white will give him an advantage.
Yep.
If you're a heterosexual white male today, you are the last person that's going to be admitted to medical school, to law school. You will need SATs, LSATs, MCAT scores, the medical college admissions tests that are 100%, 200% better than black students. If you presented their qualifications, you would be automatically rejected. But to be perfectly honest, what also needs to happen is a sea change in inner city culture.
In the family.
If every black parent acted like an Asian parent, with the same fanatical attention to their children's doing homework, taking textbooks home,
simple little
the
stuff.
Skills gap would go away. And the whole DEI complex, which is simply about making excuses for black underperformance and saying the problem is racism rather than something that is more difficult to tackle, it would all go away.
Yeah, I mean, it all starts in the home, you know, and that's where that's where the problem stems from. Yeah, if these parents would just take a little bit of interest in the education of their children and teach them, you know, to behave properly in society and you know, not to, you know, to not trust the white man and don't trust cops because they just want to kill you, and you know, all this other garbage that they spew into, you know, the minds of their children. And again, I'm not saying all black parents do this, because that's not the case, but there are some that do. And it's a cultural shift that needs to happen, and it needs to start in the home. And that's where the adversary is really excelling, because he is working his hardest to destroy that nuclear family. And quite frankly, over the last 50, 60 years, he's done a really bang up job in doing that. But we can stem the tide, and we just need to have faith and believe in you know, a higher power, whatever it is that you may think, and be a good person. It's not very difficult. All right, well, listen, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please subscribe and like, share, slap that bell around, and until the next video, stay safe. Love you all, and we'll catch you in the next video. All right, have a great day. I'm out.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear.